Have you ever walked into a place that felt like it was waiting for you? As if the table, the chair, the quiet were all part of a story you hadn't written yet? That feeling, that quiet, is where real language grows. That's why at Talknative, we teach English through real stories, moments that change you, even in silence. If that sounds like your way of learning, like this video, leave a comment and subscribe to Talknative. The sky over Prague was pale and overcast. It had been drizzling lightly since morning, but the rain wasn't sharp, it was soft, like a whisper. The streets reflected light in a quiet shimmer. Pavement stones were slick, but not slippery. Omid kept his notebook in the inside pocket of his coat, close to his chest. He didn't know exactly where he was going. He just let his feet carry him through the narrow alleys, past bookshops, closed windows, a small dog barking from a balcony. Then he saw it. A cafe with no name. Just a round wooden sign above the door, faded by time. Inside, a yellow light glowed. The window fogged slightly from the warmth within. He paused, then pushed the door open. The smell of coffee hit him first, strong, earthy, familiar. Then a hint of cinnamon. The place was small, maybe 6 tables, and almost empty. A man in his 50s read a newspaper at the corner. A woman behind the counter looked up and gave him a nod. Omid nodded back and chose a seat by the window. The chair creaked gently under his weight. The table had scratches in the wood. Someone had written something in Czech near the edge. He couldn't read it, but it looked like it had been there for years. He ordered a coffee, just black, and opened his notebook. At first, the words didn't come. He stared out the window. Watched raindrops slide down the glass in diagonal paths. Listened to the quiet hum of the espresso machine. Took a sip, bitter, warm, perfect. And then, slowly, he started writing. Not stories. Not poems. Just thoughts. Fragments. Things he'd noticed since arriving in Prague. The way the Charles Bridge looked at sunrise. The way a stranger had helped him find his tram. The way the city felt like a song in a language he didn't know but still understood. He wrote for minutes, then an hour. Then 2. At some point, the cafe filled slightly. A couple spoke quietly in German. A girl with headphones nodded to a beat only she could hear. The man with the newspaper got up, paid, and left. Omid kept writing. His hand began to ache. He switched pens. Drank more coffee. Ordered a slice of something sweet, maybe poppy seed cake. He wasn't sure, but it didn't matter. The taste was warm and comforting. Outside, the rain had stopped. The sky was still gray, but brighter now. Inside, it felt like time had stretched, like hours became one long, continuous moment. He looked down and realized he'd filled 10 pages. 10 pages of nothing, maybe. Or maybe everything. Memories, questions, pieces of language, bits of feeling. And the English had come naturally, not perfect, not polished, but honest. When he finally closed the notebook, he felt quiet. Not empty. Just full in a different way. The woman behind the counter brought him the bill and smiled. You write? He nodded. Trying to. She pointed to the notebook. Looks like you already did. He smiled back. Omid stood, stretched, and took one last look around the cafe. The chair. The window. The scratched table. All exactly as they'd been. But somehow changed because he had changed. He stepped back into the street. The air was cool, clean. The rain had washed the stone. He didn't know where he would go next, but that didn't matter. What mattered was that for a few hours, in a small cafe in Prague, the world had slowed down enough for him to listen to himself and let the language find him. In this story, you learned real English expressions like it had been drizzling lightly, fogged slightly from the warmth within, watched raindrops slide down the glass, filled 10 pages, and the English had come naturally. You also saw how to describe simple moments with emotional clarity in English. We share stories like this every day to help you connect with English on a deeper level. If it helped you today, like the video, subscribe to Talknative, and share in the comments, where is your favorite place to write, think, or just sit in silence? See you in the next video.